If you're a current Chase customer or a former Chase customer, beware, because Chase is out here filing those lawsuits.
Look, Chase Bank, nothing is blocked out. Read it. A default judgment took place. This is what happens to you. Let me read the dollar amount. $13,516. But this person did not show up to court, did not respond to the notification that they were getting sued, thought nothing was going to happen, thought, oh, okay, it's going to fall off my credit report, they're taking off my addresses. All in the meantime, a default judgment took place, swooped right in, and took $13,000 out of his account. So now his account's got $13,000 taken out of it. It's still placed on hold since June.
Now, Chase Bank is one of the best banks out there. I am currently a Chase customer, and I would never burn the relationship with Chase because I love the points from Chase and the service, and they actually can give you higher limits if you have great banking relations with them. But understand, there are some things you should never do when you're working with Chase Bank. And there's some things that people are getting hacks on, and they don't know this is a complete violation and can lead to your account being shut down and getting a lawsuit and blacklisted from Chase.
So you really have to understand the potential risks when doing so. And let's not get greedy. They will blacklist you for 7 years, which means you cannot get any Chase credit card for 7 years. You want to be mindful.
And I'm going to share with you these 5 things that you could be doing that you may think is innocent, but it can lead to a lawsuit or your accounts being shut down with Chase. Now, if you're new to this channel, my channel is designed to help you no matter where you are in your credit journey and how to leverage your credit to make money. So if you like this kind of information, make sure you subscribe to this channel. And if you go to my website, I give you this free heart inquiry removal package. You can download it for free. The link is in the description of the video and in the pinned comment section.
Chase will sue you. You need to listen to this. If you have a collection and you're not doing anything about it, guys, this is what happens when you wait too long. As you can tell here, it says we intend to send this account to a law firm for review. What happens is if you don't do anything, you're going to get a court date, you're going to go to court, and you're going to end up paying a lot more than what you owe.
Now, this could be a huge reason for a lawsuit from Chase is outstanding debt. Now, the bigger the outstanding debt, the more likely they are to sue you. So if you had a loan or a credit card that has higher numbers, around $5,000 and up, you may get sued by Chase. Now, many a times there can be differences with these suits. Now, sometimes Chase themselves will pursue you, or that debt could have been sold to a third party, which may make it easier for you to get out of that debt and that lawsuit if you pursue it right. Now, how you would know the difference for if that debt is sold, you need to look at your credit report. If that debt is still outstanding on the balance of that charge off from Chase, like $10,000 of a credit card debt that you owe, then that debt is still with Chase. Now, if you see it zeroed out with a zero balance, but there's still a charge off, but then you see a collection for that balance of $10,000, then it would have been sold. Generally, you would see notes there that the debt is sold in that charge off by Chase. Now, if the debt is sold, it may be easier to get removed or even out of that lawsuit because that third party need to prove they have a legal right to collect on the debt. And one of the things, if you get served with a lawsuit, make sure you consult with an attorney in your state because each state is different. They have different laws, different ways that you can get served, but it may be past the time or statute of limitation where they can even pursue you for that lawsuit in that state. Now, you can use different legal programs. Like it's one I will leave in the description of this video in the pinned comment section where you for $35 a month can talk to an attorney in your state. Now, they will not take on that lawsuit for you unless you hire them, and you need to be part of that program. But if you sign up, you can send over that documentation and they can give you legal advice and maybe even take it on for a discounted rate. So be very careful talking on the phone with any of those phone calls coming from debt collectors. Now, if you want to remove that off of your credit report, you can dispute and get those charge-offs and those collections off of your report, but it doesn't mean it releases you from the debt. But disputing and removing that negative item is a whole different thing. You can get them off. Like my user Greg with my Elite Credit System was able to remove a collection off of his credit report within 12 days. And my user Sean went from a 612 credit score with all his credit scores over 770 in a matter of 6 months. And now he's at 803. And you can do the same thing. The link to my Elite Credit System with my coaching is in the description and in the pinned comment section of this video. So you can still clean up your credit report and increase your credit scores, but those debts are still outstanding. And you may want to negotiate with Chase directly. Would want to mend that relationship. Think about it, people. You know, American Express, Chase, Navy Fed, those are some of the institutions I would never burn. And, you know, Chase and American Express is some of the top tier credit card companies. And do you want to live in the ghettos of credit card companies for the rest of your life? I know I don't want to live in the ghetto of credit card companies for the rest of my life. So sometimes you can't burn everybody. Sometimes you may want to mend that relationship, and Chase can have a long memory and they can blacklist you. But let's move on to the second reason.
Chase is closing my credit card, and it seems that I'm not the only person this is happening to. So here's what I found out so far. First and foremost, if you think this isn't going to happen to you, it definitely could happen to you, because these are just DMs I received last night or the night before when I posted this on my social media. Okay, I'm just gonna have to insert like a photo or a screenshot of the letter that I got and the email that I got, because it's so stupid. The reasoning is non-existent. It's just unexpected activity. I didn't do anything fraudulent. I don't do anything suspicious on my account. I pay it off in full at the end of the statement. The worst part about all of this is I had 152,000 points already racked up, and I had another 2,900 pending, and the best thing I could do was get $1,500 back. So, and I didn't even get it yet. It's getting transferred to my Wells Fargo account. I was literally saving these points for my honeymoon. Now I have $1,500 for my honeymoon, which is bogus, because if you played with the Chase portal, you know how much 150,000 points was going to get you. Like, that's literally like 8 days and any all-inclusive resort in Mexico. But now I have $1,500, so.
Now, many people, like this young lady, will say their account got shut down, like their credit card accounts. And she mentioned some points also that she was saving up and using. Sometimes with Chase, you want to be very careful. And this goes across to any credit card company. And when you apply for that credit card, you do not want to put misinformation. I'm not saying that's her issue in her case, but you want to watch out, because you might think it's innocent. Even when it comes down to your income that you make annually or your household income, sometimes credit card companies double back and look at, are you really making the money that you're saying? Or is there any kind of misinformation on that application that got you that card? That can get your card shut down because you got it under fraudulent pretenses. You might feel like you didn't, but a lot of times you might have not been approved if they had all the accurate information. And how she mentioned the points, a big pet peeve with Chase is manufactured spending. So a lot of people, when they first get the card, trying to get those points, they can do certain processes of buying things, even from Home Depot, big ticket items, and return it just so you can run up the amount that you need to get those points in spending. And it's not actual real spending. You're manufacturing it. Also, trying to pull money off or using plastique. Chase will shut you down for all of those little tricks. Do not do it. And you can be left over with a balance, and your credit score, once they close that account, can drop, because now you lose a credit card line and it's left with a balance. So it looks like it's maxed out until you pay it off. And some people are upset. They don't want to pay it off. And then that can lead to a lawsuit. So make sure that you watch out for those activities.
Street Journal ran a story this morning about people that dispute credit card charges. And I will admit, I have done this myself. I have called American Express and disputed a charge when a merchant just absolutely lied or wouldn't give me a refund for something they either didn't do or didn't do up to par.
Now, this third one, a lot of people do this and they think it's okay. You don't want to dispute charges that you know that you made. A lot of people might even receive things in the mail and then act like they never received it. I've seen people do this with Uber Eats and even DoorDash and just different products of services. They might even get mad with a certain business and they received a product or a mail and just go ahead and deny those charges. So you want to watch out for doing that. And there's an early warning detection system that if you're habitually denying charges like that, it can stop your relationship with other banks and banks altogether. They are tracking that now. So please be careful. This is actually fraud that you're committing, and you don't want to lose your relationship with Chase behind doing just little scams like that. So please be careful.
Here's a real life Chase hack as I look for my keys. If you bank with Chase, you have 3 forgivenesses. So you can overdraw your account 3 times, call them, ask them, and they will put the money back in your account within an hour.
Now, that fourth one is another hack I see going around by having your accounts overdraw and then trying to get a credit or grace from Chase. Please do not do that, because you guys, it makes it look like that you're in a financial desperate strain. And a lot of times banks are watching that. Your balances that come into play, the reason why they charge you less fees if you always maintain a higher daily balance with your bank is because they track that. That's one of the key indicators. Are you in a constant cash flow? Are you desperate? If you always have negative account balances, you can't pay your bills in their eyes, especially with business accounts. They look at this really heavy, and you might think it's innocent, and you might have really good credit, and you can't figure out why you're getting denied with Chase or any other bank that you're banking with, because you're constantly having negative balances. This also go hand in hand with maxed out credit card lines. You guys, you cannot keep that in that state. It makes you look desperate. You need to bring down any card that's maxed out or over maxed out, because they would shut down those accounts, and then that can lead to a lawsuit. All this plays into one big cabal of things that they're looking at, along with if that account gets shut down or a late payment on your credit card accounts. Other banks review your credit profile. You'll see those hard inquiries because they want to see if you're late or if any other company shut down your accounts, because then they shut down your accounts, and you'll see a domino effect, and you out of nowhere have bad credit overnight, all because of a simple mistake. So please watch out for that.
Back after an ATM glitch allowed scammers to steal money for days.
And the glitch spread on social media, and now the bank is heading to court to get back the money.
In late August, some Chase customers were able to withdraw money from ATMs by writing fraudulent checks to themselves, then immediately withdrawing cash before the checks bounced. Chase allowed customers to withdraw much larger amounts in that time. Taking advantage of the glitch, which quickly went viral on social media, was essentially check fraud.
This last one, you guys may have remembered that Chase glitch. Now, the Chase glitch is when people were writing checks and then they were getting large sums of money from the bank, essentially overdrawing their account, committing bank fraud. Now, who thought this was legal? I don't know. You had to be a very young person that didn't know anything about life, but it was a trend on TikTok. And guess what? Now they're out here suing. Chase is not only suing, they are in some cases pursuing criminal charges. So if you know somebody that did that, they may want to contact Chase and start to pay that money back before it turns into a big issue. Yes, you play silly games, win silly prizes, and one of them can be some jail time when you're messing around with bank fraud. Believe it or not, because they gave it to you, if you knew that you did not have that money in that account to write that check, that's fraud. You guys, you can't write bad checks. So this is another huge reason why Chase now is pressing out these lawsuits. And this is a huge no-no. So make sure you guys, if you have these situations or activities that you're currently doing, you discontinue from doing these. So hopefully this information was helpful. If you have any questions or comments, leave it in the comments section. But if you have more detailed questions for me, you can go to my website and all your questions go directly to my cell phone. I hope to see you guys in the next video. Stay tuned.